say you need a friend. No matter the distance, I will always be there. No more inhibition.
If you have encountered too many wolves in your life, become a shepherd. If you have encountered too much loss in life, become a guide. If you have encountered too much pain in life, become a healer. If you have encountered too much hatred in life, embody compassion. May we always aim to be the very things that our hearts and souls seek: hurricanes to hillsides, wilderness to waters, fires into fragrant fields. This is where we find comfort, knowing that inside us all is the capacity to love, and where love resides, there is the courage to change. Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Epoxy That. How are you? I hope doing okay. And I want to thank you for showing up today. Y'all know what today is. Coasting through the week, Coaster Wednesday. And I'm going to be coasting through the week in these coaster molds. Y'all remember these? When they first came out, they were super popular. They're little coffee cups and they're shakers. So they had little molds with them. You could put little lemons in there and different things like that. I'm quite sure most of you remember them. We're going to be making some cute little Christmas ornaments out of these today. I thought we would try to do like some hot chocolate or some eggnog, I don't know, something Christmassy drink. And put a little peppermint stick coming out of the top with maybe some dripping whipped cream or something. And put like some cute little gingerbreads. Put a gingerbread, the girl on one and then the boy on the other. Something like that. So if you'd like to see how I get on with that, kick back, relax, and let's get to it. I have some resin here mixed up, and I separated it into these two little cups here, and then we have another cup over here. What we're going to start with is putting down the edge of our cup. I want one of the cups to be this really pretty holographic red glitter, and then I want the other one to be this pretty holographic green glitter. I did get these glitters off of Temu. They sell them in like a kit that comes with like 8 different colors. And I purchased a whole bunch of them because I loved the glitter so much. But I don't shop on Temu anymore. So I'm not sure if they still have these glitters or not. I will check Amazon to see if I can find them on there for you. And if I do, then they'll be linked in my description box. I moved our cups out of the way because I don't want to get glitter all in them. I've already cleaned them out. And we don't need a whole lot because we're just doing the base around the cups. And I just roll these down and clip them like that with these little clips. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stir the red up. Look how beautiful that is. So pretty. See if you can see it a little bit better. Isn't that beautiful? And let's stir the green up. Then I'll let you look at the green. I just love these glitters. They are so beautiful. I have quite a few molds over here. This is a cookie. And I have this one. And then this one looks like some little icing or something. I just pulled out a few, and these are little cookies. But you have to do these in 3 different pours, because your first pour is going to be your brown part of your cookie on the other side. Your center is going to be your white icing, and then your third pour is going to be your other half of your cookie. And then we have to put some of these on our cups. These are pieces of a milk chocolate Hershey bar bitten in 2. So yes, we definitely have to have one of those on our cups. And then these are just some little icing, little pieces of icing. And then these are like some little scoops of, I don't know, maybe ice cream or whipped cream. We're going to say whipped cream. And then here's some little fun, I call these my cereal. This is my cereal mold because it looks like Apple Jacks. And when you demold them, they look just like Apple Jacks, I promise you. So I thought we'd just play around and make a few of these for funsies and see what we use. What we don't, we'll throw in our bucket for our next lamp that we create. We got to get our bucket filled. And we only have like that much filled already, so we got to get busy. I'm going to go ahead and mix up the colors for our cookies. We're going to do our cookie the same color as our chocolate bar. So let's just do them brown. Did y'all know I do not have a brown in my craft room? Can y'all believe that? Until Bondcrafter sent me this kit right here. There is a brown in here somewhere. There it is. It's coffee, but it's brown. I cannot believe I do not have a brown in my craft room. So we're just going to use this. I'm going to put a little bit down in my cup here. I don't want it to be real super dark, so let's see what we can get with that. I think that'll work. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. Let's do this cookie right here in this Aztec Gold by Pearl X. Here's the candy canes we're going to be using for the top of our drinks. So we need to do 2 of them. So we need a red and a white, and we're going to swirl it. So let's put some resin in here, and then some in this cup. Hopefully that'll be enough. They aren't very big at all. So I'm going to use my Tea Expert epoxy pigment paste in white that Cindy and John got me. Thank you so much, Cindy and John. I really appreciate that. You only need a little bit, I imagine, because that's pigment paste. Oh yes, that was plenty. Probably too much. That's a very beautiful white. And it mixes up beautifully in my resin. I'm going to like that. Okay, let me find a red. We're going to use my DIY Craft pigment paste in red. Let me give it a little bit of a stir. Really, this doesn't need to be stirred. It's really nice quality pigment paste. And I'm just going to rake all of it off of that stick, because we don't need any more than what's on the stick. Perfect. I'm going to take that stick out now and just go ahead and clean it off. And now we can stir it up. I didn't want to get any more in my cup. And that's perfect. Okay, we're going to set that over there since we just stirred that one. And we're going to go ahead and pour our cups, because that resin has sat over there now, I'm quite sure, for 4 minutes now. All right, I'm going to spritz some alcohol in the mold, turn it upside down, get the excess out. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stir it just a little bit to get that glitter off of the bottom of my cup. And then I'm just going to drop it in here. I wonder if it'll be easier just to pour it. I'm probably going to get it everywhere. I'll stop right there. And now we're going to do this one in green. I'm going to get the excess alcohol out. And then we're going to give it a little bit of a stir to get that glitter off the bottom of the cup. And now let's go ahead and pour. Now I'm going to go ahead and move my cups over to my other table and give us some more room. Now we're going to go ahead and pour our bottom portion of our cookie. So I'm going to spritz a little bit of alcohol in my mold. I wonder, I'll just go ahead and do it in this color. I'm going to do 2 cookies in this color, and then 2 cookies in this color, and we'll see which ones we like the best. And I'm just putting a little bit down in because we still have to make room for the center to be our icing on our cookie, and then the other half will be the top of our cookie. So we don't want to put a whole lot in there. I'm going to add a little bit more to these two. And now we need to let this cure for about 4 hours, 3 to 4 hours. Glitter got in there, so I'm going to take some tape and just get it out right quick. Now I'm going to spritz some alcohol in the mold, and then we're going to go ahead and pour. And I don't want to fill the cookie up because it'll make it too big. We don't want our ornament being too heavy. So, and I know resin's really light, but adding a lot of stuff onto it could make it a little bit heavy. So we're going to stop right there and not fill it all the way up. Now I'm going to spritz some alcohol in the mold here for our Hershey chocolate pieces. And then we're going to go ahead and pour those. Now we're going to go ahead and pour our candy canes. So I'm going to spritz some alcohol in the mold there. And I'm just going to go back and forth from the white, the red to the white. Let's try to do some little peppermint swirls in here. Now I'm going to try to get some Let me add some more resin in my cup here to the white. And we'll add a little bit more. Ooh, my whole thing came off. Thank goodness I seen that. I'd had a whole cup of resin pigment, white pigment paste. Oh, I would have been upset. I want it to be really white, so add a little bit more to it. Hopefully, our resin's getting a little bit thick. Hopefully we won't get any bubbles in our piece right here. I'm going to spritz some more alcohol in there. Now I'm going to take the little gingerbreads. We have a little bit of the red left, and I'm going to go in the bow of her hair and do it red. And then I'm going to do his little bow tie red. Then I'm going to take some of these green balls and put a little bit of clear resin right here in her skirt. And on his feet, his hands, and the buttons on his shirt. And we're going to put some little balls in those areas. And we'll give him some eyes too while we're at it. I put some of the white in our gingerbread's hat right there. Now I'm going to clean my stick off, and I'm going to get some red on the end of it. And then we're going to do his hat red. And let's just take some of the green out of here, and we'll do the tip of his hat green. The little ball on his hat, we'll do it green. And I'm just borrowing some from that mold down there. It won't miss it. Okay, I think that looks really cute. So we're going to let this cure up, and then we'll pour the brown in our gingerbread peeps. Alright, everything looks good. Okay, I will see you all back. I got a mess to clean up when it's time to do the next step. See you later. So the candles were smelling really delicious. I mean, it's so good. And then I waltz upon Pillsbury crescent rolls, chocolate chip cookies, and cosmic brownies, my friends. Oh my word. Little Debbie, you need to stop it because you're going to make me Big Debbie. Now we're ready for the next pour. So I've mixed up my resin already. This is the Bond Crafter epoxy resin. And we're going to use Tea Expert's pure white pigment paste for our cups. So I'm just going to get a nice little dot like that. Don't need a lot. And we're going to stir that up in our resin. And then I want to put a little bit of glitter in here too. So I'm thinking I want to use my diamond dust. See if I can locate it. Let's use my Unicorn Art crushed crystal. We're going to add a little bit of this to our cup. Now you do not need much of this stuff at all. We're going to put about that much in there. Alright, I want a little bit more sparkle. So, let's get what I was looking for to begin with. Fine Diamond Holographic. Is that the one? No, that's not the one. Ultra Fine Diamond Holographic. See, this one's fine. This one's ultra fine. I want the ultra fine. And we're going to put a little bit of that in here. I'm going to put about that much. Yes, that's perfect. I dropped my spoon on the floor. Okay, we're going to let that sit and degas. That white can go in the middle of our cookie here as well. And I want to fix this right here. I wasn't paying attention to it. I didn't watch it like I should have. And it just went right on down. So we're just going to take it out. Look, the little ball stayed in there for the Santa hat. So we're going to go ahead and work with that. So, let's see here. Let's go ahead and get his eyes back in. So I'm going to put a little dot of resin there on each side. And then a little strip of resin right up there. And I think what we might do is put his little eyes in, because our gingerbread peeps gotta see. Yeah, I want to make sure he's able to see. Put his eyes in. And let's just give him black eyes. Okay, I got my little black beads. He's gonna get black eyes. She's got white, but he's getting black. Nothing wrong with that. They got different genetics. Okay. Perfecto. Now we're going to let that cure a little bit. I'm thinking about getting some of those little red balls and putting on the top there for the top part of the hat. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, I'm going to give it a little bit of a stir, and then we're ready to pour our coffee cups or hot cocoa cups, whatever they're going to be. I don't know yet. Let's spritz a little bit of alcohol, and now we're going to go ahead and pour. We might have to put a little bit more in there. Oh, did I show y'all how that turned out? I'm sorry. I forgot to lift it up and show you. His little eyes keep trying to go together, so I'm going to have to keep an eye on them. But I think that's going to work out pretty good. What do you think? Now let's go ahead and spritz some alcohol in our cookies. And we're just putting a little bit in there for the cream in our cookies. And then we'll top our cookies off. Hopefully we'll get the color right on the other side. And then these were poking up just a little bit. Not that it's a big deal because they're probably going to be sitting on the cup, but let's go ahead and fix that. I was thinking about putting white behind two of them and then just do clear behind the other two. So what do y'all think? Let's do white behind these and then clear behind the others. Now we're going to take my heat gun and I'm just going to run it on top of our cups right here real quick. Pop any of the surface bubbles. I had to change my gloves because I had so much resin on them. And I don't want to get resin on our pieces and mess them up. I tell you, the number one thing I go through the most is gloves. Gloves and resin. Okay, let's demold these and see how they turned out. I want to see these. Oh, it turned out okay. Look, oh, got a bubble. I can fix that with UV resin. If we just got to use that one, but we can make some more. And that one turned out perfect. I love the peppermint swirl we got. And then there's that one. And then there's this one. It's got a little bubble on that one, but you can't really see it. And that's the same. And here's the green. Isn't that green beautiful? So pretty. And here's the other one. And now we did the bigger ones. I think those turned out pretty cute. And that's the same. And then we did this one. Got a little bubble right there. And then we did this one. Turned out cute. And then the rest are just white. And then we did these. These are actually ice cream scoops. Aren't they cute? They actually look like real ice cream scoops. I love them. I didn't pour them all the way because of how I'm going to be placing them on if we decide to use these. So I didn't pour them all the way. I don't want them really big. They look just like ice cream. Are y'all ready for the little Applejack cereal? I promise you they look just like Applejack cereal. Look at that. It looks just like it, doesn't it? Identical. I love this mold. Love it, love it, love it. That's the green. And then here's a green and red. Turned out pretty cute. Put a little bitty bow right up there and it looked like a heart wreath. And then this one's half green, half red. That turned out pretty sweet. And then there's just 2 stars, which you've seen already. And that's all of those that we have. I got my resin mixed up, and I've already mixed up our colors here for the other part of our cookie. We used the Coffee by Bond Crafter and the Aztec Gold by Pearl X. So I mixed those up. They've been sitting over there degassing. Here's our resin for our gingerbread peeps to go ahead and finish them off. And I'm going to be using my Pop Champagne Party Blend Glitter. I can't get this anymore. So I've been using it sparingly because Joann's Fabric closed, and that's where I used to get it from. And I looked on their website, and they only sell fabric and stuff like that now. They don't sell glitter and Christmas ornaments and all that stuff anymore. Isn't that a shame? That was one of my favorite places to shop, was Joann Fabrics. Well, I won't say my favorite, but I really liked it. I'll put it that way. Saying my favorite's stretching it a bit. But I really did enjoy shopping at Joann's Fabric. Okay, we're going to let this degas a little bit. And let's go ahead and pour our cookies. Let me make sure I get it right. Okay, the 2 light colored cookies are on this side and the 2 darker ones are on that side. So, have to be careful. Make sure I get it right. I'm going to spritz some alcohol in the mold. And let's go ahead and finish our cookies off. I love making these little cookies. Y'all are going to be amazed when we demold them at how much it looks just like a little cookie. I love creating food pieces. You know, I have like a bunch of treats and fruits and stuff, molds. And I love making little foods, donuts and things like that out of resin. I think it's so cute. And this is a mold that I made. And I found these little gingerbread cookies somewhere, and this is what I made the mold out of. I don't remember where I got these from. I pulled out my bag from last year of all my Christmas stuff, and they were in the bottom of it. And I thought, oh, I bet I was going to make a mold of those, but I never did. So I went ahead and made the mold. I thought they were the cutest little gingerbread cookies. But y'all know, I love gingerbread peeps. They're just my peeps. They're my people. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and spritz some alcohol down here. And I need to pour that other half of that cookie. But I want to go ahead and get these poured right quick, because this resin's been sitting longer. Okay, I'm going to try to move through this rather quickly because we've got a lot to demold and we still have a lot to do. So I tried to speed the video up where I could. I know that there's a lot of people out there that doesn't like the longer content. And I try to stay somewhere in the middle so I can please everyone. I know there's no way in the world we could please everyone, right? So most of the time I just kind of cruise at my own speed, beat to my own drum. Here we go. Those turned out super cute. What do you think? What do you think about that holographic glitter? Y'all have seen me use it if you've been with me for a long time. I've used it when I first got it from Temu, I used it quite a lot. So those turned out really cute. Now let's get our cookies out. Let me pull y'all down a little bit so you can see a little bit better. The light's better down there. Okay, there's a cookie. What did I tell you? It looks real, doesn't it? Whoever made that mold, they did a good job, a really good job. That looks like a real cookie to me. Now you got to give a little credit to the creator. I'm just teasing. Now let's get one of these out. Look at that. Isn't that so cute? I love this little mold. I love it. So we'll get the other two out, which you've already seen. Put those there. And I made some more of these. You've already seen those. That's the little... I'm going to try to put those maybe on the top of the cup. I don't know. I bought some garland in case this doesn't work for the marshmallows or whatever. Whatever will be on the top of our cups. And then I'm just going to get these out. We've already seen some of those. I just made two more because one of them came out with a bubble. Now, you haven't seen these because we haven't demolded these yet. And that's just the bigger version of the other ones that we demolded. And then these are the ones we put the little inclusions in. And we backed it in white. Those turned out cute. And that's just the bigger red one. This kind of looks like a bundt cake to me. A little tiny bundt cake. Or one of those little Jello things. Y'all know what I'm talking about? I just would love to make a bowl of Jello and put my toes in it. Just put my toes in it. And then here's the little smaller version ones. And they turned out really cute. I got a little cleanup to do on that one. Whoops, get back here. And then here's our little smaller version, heart, and little Jello thing or something. Now our gingerbread peeps. Got something in that. Y'all ready? Oh, he is so cute. Look at that. Those little things worked out perfect for his hat. The little cupcake things we used. And it turned out cute in his little arms and legs and his down his shirt. Okay, you're probably going to go on that cup. I don't know. We'll have to see. Now let's see. Miss Gingerbread. We should have did black eyes in her too. The black showed up a lot better. Look at that. Oh, pooey. Oh, well, they're in there now. We have to draw their smiles on their face because they got to have a smile. Because they're happy peeps. They're happy gingerbread peeps. Okay, let me go get our mold over here real quick. I'm right across the room. Coming right back. Here we go. Let's get our little biscuit out. And that's how our biscuit turned out. I should have dropped some... Well, when you buy the biscuits, they don't have color on them. It just says the word on them. So, I guess that's fine. I should have dropped something down in there, though. I didn't think I could, though. But, yeah, I guess I could have pulled it apart and dropped it down in there. Maybe some black lettering or something. Oh, well. We probably won't even use that. I don't know. And then here's our Hershey milk chocolate bar with a bite taken out. These gingerbread peeps, they're hungry little critters. They just take bites out of everything. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You go down the Christmas aisle and you see bites taken out of everything. That's these gingerbread peeps. They got a hold of it. I love it when I see something like this with a bite taken out of it. I think it's just so cute. So we have 4 of those. And we're gonna, I'm just gonna leave them just like that. I thought about putting some white down in there for the milk, but I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm just gonna leave it like that. It looks more realistic to me that way. And then here's our candy canes. Go ahead and demold them. And that's how it turned out. I think it turned out really cute. And we're going to put those sticking out of the glass like a little candy straw or something. And then here's the other one. Okay, I went through and cleaned everything up. All the edges and all the sides on anything I overspilled on. Oh, y'all, I'm sorry. I got to turn my fan on. I'm sorry if y'all hear it. I'm just going to have to apologize about it. Because it's going to have to go on. Whew. Good Lord Jesus. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and cut my acetate sheets. Because I didn't use these little pieces right here. So I'm going to go ahead and cut my acetate sheets. And I'm going to put you on a time lapse for that. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, if you might be new to resin, this is an acetate sheet. And you can buy them in packs off of Amazon or at your local craft store. And it's what seals your shakers. So I'm just going to take my marker here. And this is just for those of you that may not know what I'm talking about. And I'm just going to take this marker here and I'm going to trace that cup. Just like that. And then we're going to cut it out and we're going to put it on that cup right there. And that's going to seal our stuff that we put in our shaker. Like any little bits that we put in there, it's going to seal it. And then that we'll be able to shake it. Alright, so I'm going to put you on a time lapse while I finish it. And I'll be right back. Okay, I got that one a little bit too big, but you always want to get it a little bit bigger than a little bit smaller. Because if you get it too small, you're going to have to recut the whole thing. So I would suggest that you cut it a little bit bigger. That way you can trim anything off to get it to fit instead of having to recut the whole thing. So I'm going to trim these up and then I'll be back. Now I got my little Sharpie out here. I like to use the oil-based Sharpies. And we're just going to give them a little smile here. There we go. And I already put hers on. And I have some inclusions here we're going to add to our shaker. I'm just trying to figure out what I want to put in what. Okay, I got these little inclusions. These are actually cupcake sprinkles, but they're candy canes. So we need those, right? So we're going to chunk in a few of those. And then I want to add in some of this, because y'all know that's why I like to make dry shakers, because I love to hear them rattle. So we're going to put some of that in. And I made a mess. I'm making a bigger mess. Let me just move that over here. That way I don't have nothing on the right side of me I could spill. That might be enough. What do y'all think? Okay, and let's put some of these in there. And then let's put, I'm going to throw in some dryer sheets, which I cut up into little bitty squares. And that's so we don't get any static in our shaker. One of my subscribers taught me that. Shout out to you, my friend, if you're watching. See, y'all don't always learn from me. I learn from you all too. Now, this one I want to make a little bit different from that one. So, let's use... I know I want some candy canes in there. Well, we don't want the broken ones. And then I'm going to put some of these lollipops in there. Get a green one. I love those things. They are so stinking cute. Hobby Lobby has a section every Christmas they put out, and it looks like this big candy land. And they are so cute. Now, they're not on the cheap side, but if you can catch them 40 or 50% off, that's when you want to snag them. Let me show you. This is the brand. My Little Christmas. That's the brand. See, this is $6 right here. That's not cheap. Not to me. And it's cute little Christmas candies. So I catch them when they're 40 or 50% off, and I'll buy them all day long. I think they're so cute. And then you got these bigger suckers, and then these little pieces of candy. And then these are really cute. I actually made molds of these, and they turned out so cute because the little pieces of candy are frosted, and it made a really unique mold. Now we're going to put some of these in. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, now we're gonna I have this filing cabinet, and I've got to move it, but it's heavy and I'm waiting to take everything out and move it. But I keep dropping all of my UV resin behind the filing cabinet. So I have dropped every one of my Bond Crafter UV resins. And the only one I have still standing is my J Diction. So we're going to use this to put the lid of this on here to hold it in place while we decorate the outside. And I'm going to give the Promise 1 hour epoxy one more go to top coat this. And if it fails this time, I'm hanging it up for top coating anything with it. And I'm only giving it another shot because I don't like to give up on products so easily. That's just not me. Okay, everything looks good. So let's go ahead and put our lid on. And now let's cure it up. Okay, they're finished. And they look so cute. We got a little bit more in this one than that one, but oh well. It's the suckers in that one that makes it look like more. But they're so cute. So I dip the tip of it in my glue here. And then I put it in. I don't see it. So that's going to work out perfectly. All right, I'm going to do the other one and then I'll be back. A coffee filter while I'm cleaning my brush off, because the coffee filters won't, you know how a napkin has a lot of flyaways in it? This doesn't. So that's why I use a coffee filter when I'm doming. Now I'm going to spritz a little bit of alcohol on them to pop those bubbles. And we have quite a bit of micro bubbles. Okay, I put a 10-minute timer down, but I really think it was 15 minutes because before I started the timer, we had used probably a good 3 to 5 minutes. So let's do 13 minutes. And now I'm going to go ahead and start placing things down onto my piece here and hope for the best. Hopefully it will not go over the edges and break that surface tension. I think I'm done. So we're going to cover them and I'll meet you back when they're cured. Alright, let's check them out and see how they turned out. Move my clay out of the way. And here they are. They turned out pretty cute, I do have to say. That 1 hour promise epoxy is okay. I am going to try one more thing before I don't use it for a top coat. I'm going to try to run it through my resin debubbler and see if I can get a better outcome, because we did get quite a few micro bubbles in it. You really can't see them though because of the white behind it. And there's not many, but I can see a few. So all in all, I think these turned out super stinking cute. Here's our other one. So I really, really love them. I'm so excited about them. So we're going to just run this through here. I put a jump ring on this one. And I got out a green and red tree hanger to match the our cups. I will link these little nifty ornament hangers in my description box. I did get them from Temu, but someone said they found them on Amazon, so I'm sure I could find them for you. So I'm going to go cruise around and find them, and they'll be linked in my description box for you. They're awesome. I love them. Super easy to use, and they are definitely worth the money. So this is how I cruised through the week in a coaster mold. I hope you enjoyed this video, my friends, and don't forget to go check out my playlist and see how the others are coasting through the week. And it's about that time, my friends, for a sweet goodbye. And I will see you in the next video. God bless you. Goodbye, my friends.